Hey everyone, it's Brew Gaming here with another Racial Legends video. So guys, I've been getting a lot of requests on my videos to show my farmer for the campaign. So my farmer for the campaign, guys, if you don't know already, is Saurus. I'll show you how fast he farms. So I'm gonna get the... I'm actually now farming for the champion training event that we do have right now. So I need to get some rank 4s to level 40, so I can make them to rank 5 to get rank 5 to rank 6. So you guys know the drill. So if you do get a farmer, if you do want to get a farmer, you want to get him as fast as possible so your runs are as quick as possible. So here we have my Saurus. Look at him. He failed this actually because he didn't crit right there on the last two, so it was 9 seconds. My fastest time is 6 seconds, so let's try it again. The way for this to go for 6 seconds is for Saurus to get a reset on his skills. So if he does not get a reset, this will not be a 6-second run. So here we do have a 6-second run, guys. So imagine this, you have a full energy bar right here, 130 energy, 6 seconds a run. You get that energy down really quickly and you farm as fast as possible. So let's go over and look at my Saurus build and stats. Here he is, Saurus. You do not have to get Saurus, guys, if you want to get a campaign farmer. If you do have Bellower, if you have Queen Eva, if you have Big Gun, if you have something much better, you can use that instead. Saurus is not needed, but I didn't have any of those champions, not even Bellower. So I decided to go for Saurus like, I don't know, 10 6-star characters ago. So it helped me a lot. That decrease in my time in farming, because I used to use Aethel. Aethel is my starter champion. I used to use Aethel. She took about 30 seconds to 1 minute depending on how often she crit. And that's a lot of time. Even with an auto clicker on, you can't really... you need to be close to your computer all the time. So if you have Saurus, it's much easier to farm, guys. So my stats here. I have a mix of sets. I have attack set. I have a cruel set right here. I also have a critical rate set. All of these are because I want to get as close to 100% critical rate as possible. If it's possible to get 100%, then that's great. I have 97%, guys. 230 critical damage. You only need about 200 plus, but I did some overkill right here just so my runs are absolutely 6 seconds. For speed, guys, you only need over 100. I think the actual breakpoint is 97, so you need about 97 speed in order to go before the campaign characters. So you know that each wave they will go before you if your speed is low. So you need at least some speed on your items, not only a critical rate and critical damage. But because this is so low, you can focus on the other stats as well. My attack is also high. You need over 3,000, guys. 3,500 is what I have right here. So these are my items. As you know, critical damage on my gloves, critical rate substat, that's good. Attack percentage on the primary for the chest, some critical damage right there. And my boots don't need speed. I don't need speed on my boots. I needed a lot of critical damage and critical rate. So this is what I did. And then let's look over at Saurus skills. Saurus, guys, because he's an uncommon, he's so easy to level up his skills. You just get another Saurus, get him from mystery shards, get him from just farming. And look at this. You can level up all of his skills and make it so much easier. So his fire wave, his A2, is basically it attacks twice. So it does a lot of damage, especially on wave 3. And this is why it goes for 6 seconds. So by having a specific mastery in the offense tree, this can be reduced by the time that Saurus reaches wave 3. So when he reaches wave 3, that's the most difficult ones for farmers. Usually farmers don't one-hit that wave. So if you do have this reset, it attacks all enemies twice. So his damage is done basically twice. So instead of hitting with this one, he's going to hit with this one. He does a lot of damage with this. So the wave dies immediately and the farm is at 6 seconds. So let's look at his masteries. I didn't even max the masteries. I just went for the offense tree. This is the one that you need. You don't really need any of these except for this one, Lore of Steel. This is the most important one in my opinion from the support tree. You can even go for Spirit Haste, but that's not needed because your allies shouldn't die if you want to go for 6 seconds. If they die, it means your run is more than 6 seconds. Depending on what you're gonna do, you can get this. But for me, I just went here, get some more stats from critical rate, attack damage, percentage from the 2 set bonuses, and then the offense tree. We're gonna go over the offense tree because this is very specific for campaign farmers, guys. Critical rate, this is obvious. Critical damage, this is obvious. Then you want increased damage inflicted by 5% when attacking with full HP. So Saurus is gonna be at full HP when he's farming. This is an obvious one as well. You're not gonna use any of the other ones. And in this one, the second row, on the third row, guys, increases speed by 6 for each enemy killed by this champion. So your Saurus actually is gonna be faster now if you get this. I cannot get this one. I could get this one instead. Wait, this one increases damage inflicted to targets with less than 40% HP. Just because his A2 is gonna hit once, is gonna take them below 40% HP, and then the second hit is gonna do more damage. But you cannot get this one and also get this one. This is the one I needed, so this is why I went for Whirlwind of Death. I went for it here, so my mastery, the next mastery could be this one. Ruthless Ambush increases damage inflicted by 8% for the first hit on each enemy. So Saurus damage is 8% immediately for each wave with his A1. If he does his A2, the first hit is gonna be 8% more. The second one is not gonna be 8% more, but still it does a lot of damage. So this one helps a lot with clearing the waves. Then we go for row number 4 in the offense tree. Wrath of the Slain increases damage inflicted by 5% for each dead ally. This is in the case that your allies die. You can clear the wave for sure, especially for stage 12-7. You can use this. And then for Cycle of Violence, has a 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn if the damage inflicted by a skill exceeds 30% of the target's max HP. So this is the one you always need for a farmer, guys, because you want his cooldowns to be reduced, because the skills that have cooldown on do much more damage than their A1. So basically all farmers have an AoE A1. This is why they're farmers. But this is the important mastery that all of them need, because you need to reduce that cooldown, and this is done by doing more than 30% of the target's max HP. And then we go for Kill Streak. Your damage increases for each wave. So once you reach wave number 2 and 3, you have much more damage than you did before, because you just kill more enemies. Blood Shield, this is good when you're farming stage 12-7. If you want to do the boss runs, you do have the quest for that one, so you do need this one. If I could, I would go for a methodical instead, but you don't really need that one. The next one is Flawless Execution, 20% critical damage, guys. That's a lot. That's a lot of critical damage to get, so you need that one. You don't need Giant Slayer. You're not gonna use Saurus in the dungeons with this build for a farmer's build. You're not gonna use War Master because the amount of damage done through War Master on the campaign mobs is not that much. 20% critical damage. That's the one you need. So these are his masteries. I'm gonna go over campaign and gonna show you how he does in Nightmare. So if you're thinking of doing Nightmare, you can do that, guys. He's not that great because Nightmare, the mobs have so much more health. So you see here, he's gonna have a disadvantage. So I'm not gonna do this run. He's gonna have a disadvantage. Maybe we can do number 2. Yeah, he's gonna be much better in number 2. If you can go for stage 2 and try and farm that one. But you're gonna see how much longer it takes. So if you do have a better champion than Saurus, guys, use the other champion, because he might even take you through Nightmare as well, especially Big Gun. So invest in that one, not Saurus as your farmer. So look at this, already 12 seconds in and we barely did round 1. So, okay, round 2 and then round 3. There we go. That a block damage buff. Okay, 22 seconds. That's not bad for stage 2 of Nightmare, but the amount of XP that you get and the amount of energy needed is much less. The silver that you get is also much less. So this is why I use him. I still farm Brutal. I don't farm Nightmare. I farm Brutal because Brutal is the most efficient one in terms of energy, because you get more silver. The amount of XP that you get in Brutal is much less, but because you only need 6 seconds to farm, it makes it so much quicker. And because you're doing a lot of farming, guys, you want this to be as quick as possible. So this was my Saurus build, guys. If you have Saurus and no one else, you can use this build and make him your farmer. You don't need all the stats that I do have right now. I went over it a few minutes ago, so go back and check it. If you like this video, leave a like down below. Comment with your farmer for stage 12-3 in Brutal. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.